Hello, my name is Faris. I'm a junior at Los Gatos High School, and my clean energy solution explores algae bioreactors, a sustainable and flexible source of clean energy, wastewater treatment, and CO2 fixation. So, just for some background on what algae bioreactors are. Algae bioreactor is any apparatus that can cultivate algae on a large scale for various purposes, including wastewater treatment, carbon dioxide fixation, and biofuel production. In addition, there are various other applications for algae bioreactors, including in pharmaceuticals. Furthermore, a bioreactor provides optimal conditions for algae to photosynthesize to accomplish whatever goals the algae bioreactor has. And a bioreactor is a very broad term for any apparatus that can facilitate photosynthesis. So, some reasons as to why algae bioreactors are a good and clean source of energy is that algae have very rapid growth rate, and in one day they can increase 1.4 to 2.4 fold in terms of the number of cells of algae. Furthermore, algae can be grown in wastewater, which means that it can not only purify wastewater, but it can be grown in various places. So it's very versatile. Furthermore, algae bioreactors have been shown to be able to reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 80% compared to fossil fuels. And the biofuel that comes from algae bioreactors is far less toxic and much more degradable than petroleum-based fuels like fossil fuels. So there have already been some preliminary algae bioreactors introduced first by NASA in 2009. There was a very early scale implementation of algae bioreactors, and then more recently, more advanced AI-based company called Hypergiant released their design for an algae bioreactor, although it has not been implemented on a wide scale. And there are many reasons as to why algae bioreactors have not been implemented in a larger scale. First of all, algae bioreactors can be very inefficient at times because they depend on many factors, including temperature and pH, and it can be really hard to regulate that to ensure maximum algae productivity. Furthermore, it is very difficult to scale up currently. While small reactors are very efficient, some capturing carbon at a rate of 400 times more than trees, larger bioreactors are much less efficient and see a drop of efficiency of around 50% at times. So, my own research has with my own research through my AP research class has explored how machine learning can make algae bioreactors more efficient, and I use a piece of software called Aspen to simulate bioreactor performance, so I don't have to physically make a model. And I employed various what are called tuning algorithms to dynamically adjust temperature or pH or water pressure to optimize algae productivity. Specifically, I used a tuning algorithm called robust adaptive control, and in doing so, I implemented various neural networks, which is just a specific type of algorithm in machine learning to basically optimize algae bioreactor efficiency. And I've already seen results of increasing the efficiency by more than 50% compared to an unsupervised model where there's no outside tuning algorithm dictating or adjusting parameters. So, how can algae bioreactors be implemented in our society given these changes? So, as I mentioned before, because algae can be grown in wastewater, algae bioreactors can be installed nearly anywhere, from beaches to laboratories. Furthermore, it is up to public policy to dictate how biofuel extracted from the bioreactors and distributed throughout society. Doing some calculations, I found that if an algae bioreactor, assuming it has similar performance to the one made by Hypergiant, if those bioreactors are dispersed every half a square mile, then the bioreactors would extract comparable amounts of biofuel compared to what is currently used as fossil fuels. Furthermore, machine learning software can easily be integrated into any intelligent design and modified in case of any issues. So, where there's algae, there's tappable fuel. The abundance of algae and its ability to be cultivated in wastewater makes it a very viable source of clean energy. As I mentioned, it can be more efficient at carbon capture than trees by a factor of 400. It can replace fossil fuels without releasing toxins, and it can purify wastewater. Although there are current inefficiencies in how algae bioreactors are implemented, there are various machine learning techniques that can be implemented to circumvent these problems. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Here are my citations.